Going down the Blues in the winter with a bottle in your hand and with a hat on and a scarf on and enjoying the football. So, I mean, it's better
Well,
now.
you got more than a hat and a scarf on.
Well,
Hat, scarf, and a bottle. Oh my God.
that would be chilly. But it's better now we're actually winning games as well. I can't get that visual out of my head now. Please don't turn up to the Blues with any hat and a scarf and bubble. But yeah, no, I mean, that's. I was going to say that's a good way to end the podcast. It isn't a good way to end the podcast.
We've put a memory of in people's minds that they'll never forget now.
So welcome back to BCFC Royal Blue, and we're here today for another unscripted video. And we tend to do these once every couple of weeks, maybe once a month. And as I say, they're just unscripted. So we just like to talk about what's going on around Blues. Maybe it could have been a transfer during the summer. It could have been anything to do with the stadium improvements, the Knighthead contracts, anything to do with the club really that we think is going to be a talking point. But we don't do any prep before this. We just keep this natural in the room and we just have that back and forth about Birmingham City. So Dad, unscripted video, anything on your mind at the moment surrounding Birmingham City?
Just one thing before we start. We spoke to, obviously, love meeting the fans, don't we, at games? And, always fans coming up to us and having a chat, which we absolutely we love doing. A couple of fans have mentioned to us that they don't get notifications of our videos when they go on YouTube. So just while we have the opportunity on Unscripted, if you subscribe to the channel and you're not getting notifications, you can go by the subscribe button. There's a little bell. If you press the bell icon, next to the subscribe button, it means that when we put a video, you'll get like a message or a ping or a notification that will come up on your phone to tell you that we've done that, so you can go and listen to it that way. So if you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. I'm not asking you to do that, but that's what you need to do. Press the bell icon. Yeah, and we had the opportunity before the bottom game to meet Tom Wagner as well, which was absolutely fantastic. And
nice bloke.
had a couple of photos with him as well. So that was it's lovely to see him. We mentioned this, didn't we, about him mingling with the fans, and he really seems to have a real heart and desire to be part of the actual fan experience.
Yeah, it was funny though, wasn't it? Because we got there quite early and we took our picture, and then we got into the stadium and we went on X and Facebook, and we were everyone was posting pictures of them with Wagner, and so he was clearly out there for a good while taking pictures with everyone. So really nice guy. I was chatting to him about the hats in the club shop for a little bit, and seemed like he had a lot of time for everyone there. So I love Tom Wagner and the board and what they're doing. So it's nice that he's transparent and
and having a few beers as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously drinking his own profits, but he's having a few beers as well. He looks relaxed as well, which is really, really nice. Something else, Matt, as well, noticed the next open house has been announced as well for the 13th of November.
Yeah.
It's entitled Growth. So obviously they're presumably going to be speaking about how they're moving the club forward in terms of what they're doing for all sorts of things, really, sponsorships, partnerships, and how I presume there might be some more information about the sports quarter and stuff like that.
I bet revenue will be high up on the agenda for that again, just because Knighthead and Wagner love talking about how when they generate more money, we can spend more money, have better facilities, better players. So I bet revenue is going to be high up on the agenda for that.
Well, actually, linked to that, since our last unscripted video, the club have announced partnerships with Heineken and Delta as well. I think that was not announced the last time we did an unscripted. So they're big organisations, aren't they? That they're developing these things as well. Also, as well, Tom was lobbying. I think it would probably be 2 weeks ago now in Birmingham City Centre. I think there was a meeting with the council and obviously local government ministers. So I presume it sounded like he was drumming up support for the sports quarter. Obviously, if it's going to cost 2 to 3 billion, he's probably looking for support in loads of different ways. But mainly, he's going to be looking at the infrastructure as well. It's okay plonking a new sports quarter at the Wheels site, but sort of access in particular and planning and all those type of things need to be discussed. But what that showed me was that he's got a real desire to take that project forward, and you have to do things like this. So it's a natural step in the process of a big infrastructure project, and that's what this will be in terms of the whole sports quarter.
And also, if you want to find out more information about that and more detail about mine and Dad's thoughts, we did a video on that last week or the week before last, didn't we, Dad? Specifically about that meeting and what he was doing in Birmingham, rallying and what's it called? Lobbying's the word, isn't it?
Yes, lobbying. Yeah. So if you go to our YouTube page and you'll see, and just scroll down the previous videos, you'll soon come across it. It's got a picture of Tom Wagner on the front, so
with a big stock market chart. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just coming back to the football for a minute, Dad, I just want to say how much I'm enjoying this season. I'm loving being a Birmingham City supporter. For the past 10 years, like my attitude's completely changed. Like my friends at work would ask, how was your weekend? And you'd give the answer like, I was down the Blues this weekend. And it was it almost felt like a chore. And like the attitude was like, almost like not embarrassed, but like it felt like a chore to talk about the football because we were always losing and we didn't have good owners and stuff. Whereas now I can't wait to get into work to tell them about the wins and all this sort of stuff. So I'm just loving this season. I love going down St.Andrews, following our team on the road. We go to as many away games as we can. We've only missed one this season, which was Orient because of the tickets. And I just really enjoying winning. I'm enjoying that Chris Davis's new style of football on the team. And, top of the league.
At the time of recording, we've yesterday we drew 1-1 with Mansfield, so we're currently 3 points ahead.
Wickham are 3 points behind. They're having a great season, aren't they? Just an overall statement, Dad, to say that I'm just loving the football this season.
Yeah, and what a great start as well. 12 games played, 9 wins, two draws, and only 1 defeat. We couldn't really have asked for a better start. And the good thing is as well, you can see that Chris Davis and the players are still learning. If you guys watch our channel on a regular basis, which I'm assuming most people watching this video do, when we do our post-match videos, we're talking about things that we could have done better and stuff like that. But it shows you that the club and the players are still getting to know each other, still learning. But what a fantastic start that we've made. We've just got to keep that momentum going now, haven't we?
Absolutely. And and the good thing is we've played a lot of decent League One teams. If you look at the top 6 in particular, we've played most of them now in those first stretch of games. So that isn't me being disrespectful to the games coming up. But we are technically now going to be playing some teams which are lower in the league. So my point is we've done really well to be top of the league at this stage, playing the calibre of teams that we've been playing in League One. So a really good, positive, constructive start for Blues this season.
Yeah, and you can look at those games, Matt. We've won 9, drawn 2, lost 1, as I've said. And the games that we've drawn and lost, maybe a Charlton game apart, that was disappointing completely. But, there's opportunities that we could have had to either get better results in them games as well. So it's absolutely brilliant. A record start for us for the season.
And let's not forget, I just want to bring it back to this for a minute. We've got a brand new manager who's applying a brand new style of football, and we've got a brand new team and a brand new squad. And I know we've spoken, especially in the early couple of games, about click and about what do you call it, gel, all these buzzwords that as fans use when a new team gets together. And I think we are getting there now. But let's not forget, again, we've got to this point playing good teams in League One while the players are still trying to figure out their best positions, how they work together, all these different things. And we are getting stronger. I mean, I think we can all agree as Blues fans that we need to be more clinical. We need to put teams away because we are getting chances in games and we're not finishing them. And if we take the Mansfield game as a prime example, they ended up pulling that back for a 1-1 draw when we should have been out of sight. That is a thing we need to improve on, set pieces as well. But, overall, absolutely outstanding starts this season. I'm buzzing. I'm really chuffed.
Yeah, really. You can't complain with the way we've started. We just need to keep it going as well. Yeah. One thing as well that's noticeable is that, which is not going to bother us, but everybody hates us.
I know.
Everybody hates us. Every team, fans that we put a video out, there's always fans, and to be fair, they're not bad comments. They're just saying, wait until you turn up at our place. But we have seen, haven't we? We've mentioned this so many times, Matt, about how teams just raise their game against us. Every single team raises their game, and teams then you watch them play us, and a few weeks later, they just appear to be a shadow of the team that played us. It's absolutely the only exception to that, which was very early in the season, Wickham, when we played them. I think we weren't overly impressed with them, but we did say they looked like they had good players.
Decent team,
But it just shows you that certain teams are going to be really, really strong in this league as well. But
shows how much of a good 3 points away from home that was against Wickham.
Yeah, we just need to sort of weather the storm in terms of when we are put under pressure. And I'll say, the main thing you said is we need to be more clinical and score goals as well. We've got the EFL Trophy coming up, haven't we? In fact, actually, when this video goes out, I think that because this will go out on Tuesday.
Be on the evening, won't it?
On the evening, so it'll be on the evening. So, so this will go out 12 o'clock on the Tuesday. So people watching this early might get an opportunity. The tickets for that are, if you're season ticket holder, £10, if not £12.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get to see some of the fringe players as well.
And also, just to jump in there, that goes towards your away allocation as well. So if you follow Blues on the road and you're struggling to get your bronze, your silver, your gold status, this will go towards that, which is really important. We're certainly, we're going because we love Blues and we want to watch it, but that's a really good benefit that we get to get that as an away stand.
And we will put a post-match video on that because we're going to be at that game, but we'll do that probably. I think that'll go out Thursday.
It will,
so pop along if you want to see some of our fringe players in the EFL Trophy. If we win that game as well, we'll be into the next round as well. So people think EFL Trophy, why should I? Well, You will do when there's a Wembley trip at the end.
I'd love to.
Yeah, we'll all be there as well. But we've been to the EFL Trophy game so far.
Yep.
And see what Blues can do. I'm quite looking forward to see what team Chris Davis picks for that, because I think he'll give a few players a run out who maybe not getting a lot of first team football.
I'm expecting Mark Leonard to start, Yokoyama to start,
Luke Harris possibly. He's
Luke
just back
Harris
because he came on, didn't he, against Mansfield.
So I'm expecting some of the players, as you say, Dad, who have been on the fringe to get some minutes, and I think it'd be quite exciting for us to see those players and see what they can do, because they've been dying to get their chance, haven't they?
Yeah.
And fair enough, they've been coming on in games and having decent impact, but it's nice to see what they can do for the full 90 minutes or for an extended period of the game. So especially he likes of Yokoyama. He's quite exciting, isn't he? Because he's fast and he's tricky and he's flary. And even at the Mansfield game at time of recording at the weekend, when he came on, he was quick. He was doing little darting runs. And
he did well.
It's nice to see players like that actually get a start.
It might be given an opportunity as well for Chris Davis to do a bit of experimenting. Yeah. I mean, he did that against Walsall, which didn't work out too well, actually. We did draw the game in the end, but lost on penalties.
Famous question, a few Blues...
Not lost on penalties. We lost the penalty shootout. You
still got a point.
Yeah.
But Walsall got an extra point for winning the penalty shootout. Strange. But do you think Chris Davis might try Stano on the right or the left and play a number 9 and put Stano on the wings, maybe?
Yeah, possibly. But then, he may rest players because we've got the FA Cup case against Sutton United. But, again, still a game we want to win.
Yeah,
so
they're going to fight for everything.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, if I'm honest, because I think if I was Chris Davis, I'd probably the EFL Trophy look at resting, probably Stansfield.
Fair enough.
But having said that, though, Stansfield was substituted against Mansfield, so he's not played a full game, so he's going to be fit enough. Be interesting if he does. Stansfield, all them under 21s, he's going to know really well, because that was who he came from.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but from an injury point of view, it's good to see Dion Sanderson back in the squad, and Laird as well. He's come straight back into it, hasn't he? We have got a few other niggling injuries. Obviously, we got Bielek still out. Hansen now is injured for a few weeks. Buchanan's slow in his recovery as well. So we're not. I don't think we're having as many injuries as last year, to be honest. We had a bad problem last year with injuries, didn't we?
We did, yeah. And also, every player that goes out, there seems to be now one coming back in. So Luke Harris is coming back, Ethan Laird's coming back.
Sanderson's
back. So fair enough, we have lost a couple of players, but a couple of players have come back as well. So, thing is that players are going to get injured from time to time, I think, just from the demands Chris Davis is going to put on them, because he says, doesn't he, he wants them to be so sharp in training when it comes to a match day. No matter what they get thrown at them, they can handle it, because they keep the intensity and the pressure on in training. So I have no doubt with the way he trains the team, there will be times when it runs that risk. But he's a manager, he knows that line, and he's got professionals behind him, he's got coaches behind him, so they know the lines between what would cause an injury and what wouldn't. But I think the training sessions under Chris Davis are seriously intense.
Yes, they are. But you can tell that by the way the energy levels at matches, which is something that's a really big part of our game, isn't it? To keep going for the full 90 minutes. I think it's also worth mentioning the BCFC Women as well. They're doing really well, top of the championship, and after 7 games, so they've had a really good start to the season, unbeaten at St.Andrews.
Yeah.
And I know that Tom Wagner and Knighthead are really keen to ensure that the BCFC Women get the support they need to take them to the WSL. But Amy Merrick, she came in this season as a new manager, and she obviously Darren Carter was last year, wasn't he? And then parted ways, and Amy Merrick's has come in, and she's done a really good job with the team. I looked at some of the results actually that they've had, and they've only lost once and drawn once and won the rest of them as well, and they've scored a lot of goals. They've only conceded 2 goals all season.
Wow. That is impressive.
Two goals all season, and obviously one of those was a 1-0 defeat at Durham away. But if they keep the momentum going, there's no reason that they shouldn't get to the WSL. I'm sure that if that happens, if and when it happens, that Tom Wagner will invest again to keep them there, and maybe to become the Birmingham City women's team that we used to have a number of years ago. We were, WSL regular. Well, it wasn't really WSL for a while, was it? It used to be whatever it was called, the Women's Premier League before the WSL. But we were one of the biggest and best clubs, women's clubs in the country for quite a number of years.
Yeah, it's nice to see that back, isn't it? And I saw a graphic this morning, and it showed the men's and the women, and both top of the league. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what league you're in. The fact that Birmingham City, both men's and women's teams top of the league, is really nice to see, isn't it? And what I loved about Wagner when he came in, and Knighthead when they came in, in one of the open houses, it might have been the first one, he said he's not just investing in the men's team, he's investing in Birmingham City. That includes the men, the women, the youth teams. You know, they gave all the youth players their first contracts. They've really invested in the women's team as well. So it's really nice that it's a priority on Knighthead's mind as well to improve the women's squad and to keep pushing the club higher as a general, because it makes a massive difference. If you've got a successful men's team, women's team, youth team, academy and all these things, it creates a better buzz around the club in general, don't it? So that attracts investment, that attracts, you know, we talk about Knighthead and revenue, don't we? You know, when you've got multiple teams within your club doing well, it helps get those sponsorships and those things in. So to see the women doing as well as they are is great. And I agree with you, Dad. I think they would have set a target at the start of this season to get back into the WSL, and it looks like it's going well. So, you know,
it does. Yeah. Just give a name drop a few of the women's team, because I've been looking at their you know, the team and, you know, their sort of rating per season so far. So we've got Neve Heron. She's a defender. She's got the highest rating, followed by the goalkeeper Lucy Thomas. Then Lucy Quinn, defender. Tegan McGowan, midfielder. Lucy Quinn's twice actually. Oh no, sorry, Lucy Quinn. We've got a Lucy Thomas and a Louise Quinn, and also a Lucy Quinn, who's a midfielder. Then Lee Gum Min, a forward. Gemma Langley, Rebecca McKenna, Ashanti Akpan, Christy Murray, Rebecca Holloway, Ivana Fuso. These are all the players. So there's some really, really good quality women's players that are rated quite highly there. And I think the results are telling for themselves. So clearly, defensively, we are very, very strong, only conceding 2 goals. And I think that as the season goes on, by the looks of the fixtures that the club have got and the way that what they're doing at the moment, they've got every chance of getting promoted. We wish them the best of luck.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll keep an eye on them as well. Something we'll try and do. Obviously, you know, people watch this channel that we focus heavily on the men's team. That's because that's what we go and watch home and away. But we have been asked to mention the women's team, and we'll keep an eye on them, on their progress, and we will you know, mention them in future podcasts, obviously for their results as well. But well done to the women's team, and you know, keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's great, Dad, is that the club keep trying to do incentives to up the numbers and to get as many people to the women's game as possible. Like last season, I was getting constant emails saying, you know, if you register now or you do this, you've automatically got your free ticket to the women's game because you're a season ticket holder. So. And I know against Sutton FC the next weekend for the FA Cup, they're putting on a double header, so you can go and watch the men's game on the big screen and then stay in the stadium and watch the women's game as well. So again, the club are doing these incentives to try and get a buzz, try and make it more appealing and attractive to get bigger audiences to the women's game. So it's good to see the club are putting their money where their mouth is, and they're actually backing the women to do well. So
yeah, and it's, you know, it's fantastic when you see Birmingham City at the top of any division. Just one final point for me as well. You know, obviously it's been a good start to the season for the Birmingham City men's team as well, and you know, we get into those dark, late, cold, wintry months now, and you know, the support for our club is absolutely phenomenal. You know, we've sold out virtually every game. I think there was a few odd seats left for the Bolton game, but that was a Tuesday night.
Still, from where we were though to where we are now,
full, didn't it?
It did.
It did look full, but you know, our support is brilliant, and I think, you know, we've got these difficult months coming up in terms of, you know, the weather and stuff like that. But you know, let's just keep it going. Let's remain positive. You know, I think the overall vibe across the club is exceptionally positive in terms of what's going on, and I think we've got good times ahead. And I think if we can keep accumulating points the way we're doing. And, you know, even when we're going to, we've said this all along, Matt, every, you know, not every video, but, you know, in a lot of videos that we will drop points. We've seen that because teams will come at us, you know, they'll have a go. But, you know, we're gonna draw games. We are going to lose some games. We're not going to win every game, but not to get too down when we do that. You know, we've got to just keep behind the team, keep focusing. And I suppose it's just you know, making sure we maintain that positive vibe.
Yeah. Also, as well, we've had such a rubbish 10 or 15 years. I don't think we're entitled to have any sort of arrogance or... I mean, it's nice to have the element of being favourites going into games. It's nice when, you know, teams get draws and they're buzzing because they got a draw against Birmingham City. That's a really odd feeling for us as a fan base. But I just sit on the humble side of the fence, and I just say we treat everyone with respect, don't we? And we like to move forward on this podcast in that way, because... if you don't, they'll turn you over. And Chris Davis is going to have his players and our team firing on all cylinders at all times. But sometimes the ref makes a bad decision. Maybe the team is more physical than you are. Maybe you're just not firing on all cylinders, tired legs, weather. So many different
have a day off, you know.
Variables.
It could be a bad day, you know.
Exactly. I mean, I put the Charlton game. I put the Charlton game down to that. a little bit of tired legs, not really a good day at the office, and we lost. And that's
I think
fine.
we're going to get some further weeks like that. You know, when we get those like 3 games in a week, because of the international breaks, we have to postpone the games. They have to they have to get put into the calendar somewhere. So they're inevitably it's going to result in that. But that's just part and parcel of it. That's the same for virtually. I mean, a lot of League One games are actually postponed on an international break anyway. So it's not just us.
Yeah.
But we just got to ensure that we just keep doing what we're doing as a club, and and then hopefully we'll get to where we want to be. But I'm really pleased with the way things are going. The start of the season, I think you can't complain with the start of the season we've had. So let's just keep moving on and keep supporting the club as we do, as Birmingham City's fans always do, and let's look forward to better times.
Absolutely, and there's nothing better going down the Blues in the winter with a bottle in your hand and with a hat on and a scarf on and enjoying the football. So I mean, it's best now.
You got more than a hat and a scarf on. Hat, scarf, and a bottle. Oh my God.
That would be chilly. But it's better now we're actually winning games as well. I can't get that visual out of my head. Please don't turn up to the Blues. We're going to sit in a scarf and bubble. But yeah, no, I mean, that's. I was going to say that's a good way to end the podcast. It isn't a good way to end the podcast.
We've put a memory of in people's minds that they'll never forget now.
But yeah, I mean,
please wear your clothes.
Any final thoughts there before we close the podcast?
No, not really. I mean, I just really I want to thank everybody who's supporting our channel as well. You know, me and Matt love watching the Blues, and obviously clearly enjoying what we're doing by the amount of views. And what we're impressed with as well is we've never set this channel up for subscribers. We never did. It was just a conversation with me and Matt. We just said one day, should we just record it? And the fact that you guys want to watch us and listen to us is really, really astounding, really. And we just thank you. And our view time on our videos is really high as well. So people are watching videos for a long time, not just like dipping in and out. And I just want to thank you. Take the opportunity. We don't really get to do that in many videos because they're focused on something, aren't they? Yeah. But thanks to everybody who's supporting our channel and watching us. And hopefully we'll continue to do this for a very long time.
Great, and it's a perfect note to end the podcast on. But before we do, I just want to mention. I mean, do you remember how this podcast came about? It was on Boxing Day, so. The only positive to Wayne Rooney being manager was on Boxing Day when we went for a drink, because it was the 5:30 Stoke game, right, Dad? So we went for a few drinks in the midday, and we said, should we start a podcast? Should we start talking about the Blues? And actually,
so basically, we're very intoxicated when we made the decision to do the podcast. But that's actually true. That was Boxing Day, wasn't it?
And obviously Rooney was a terrible tenure, but that was the one positive for me that came out of it, that we actually decided to do this podcast. So good times.
Brilliant.
And we're going to do it again Boxing Day, aren't we? But hopefully this time we'll be happier memories.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
You never know. Don't count your chickens, but true. Hopefully.
Well, the fact Rooney isn't here will automatically make it significantly better. But as always, Blues fans, we'd love to hear from you. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll get round to those as quickly as we can. And if you like this video specifically, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and check us out on our social media channels. We have an X page, we have an Instagram page, and we're also on Spotify now if you prefer to listen to your podcast over there. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any future content. And don't forget also to press the bell on the side. It allows those notifications to go straight through to you as well. And me and Dad will see you on the next video all about Birmingham City.